Hello, and welcome to Story Power on YouTube. My name is Lucinda Sage-Midgorden, and my background is in theater. I've worked in the theater, I've taught it, and I just love stories. So that is partly why I created Story Power in the first place. I have episodes starting back all the way from July 2020, and I'm uploading those now. And once I get caught up, I will continue to upload new episodes every other week, along with sending them to Apple and Google and all of those outlets. They are not episodic, so you can just go and choose a title that sounds interesting to you and listen to it. A lot of my guests are writers, artists, musicians, or people who help artists, writers, and musicians. They're all creative people. Everyone I have chosen to be on the podcast are creative. Now, why did I start Story Power? Well, I am passionate about stories, and I've never really analyzed why I love them so much until I started the podcast. And my goal was to talk to people about the stories that they absolutely love and what it is about them that they learned from their favorite stories. Then it evolved, and I began to ask not only what stories people loved, but I wanted to hear about their personal stories as well, because I recently found a quote that explains exactly what I have been trying to get at for these 3 years. It's by Dale Carnegie, and it's a quote from his famous book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is the quote: "Instead of condemning people, let's try to understand them. Let's try to figure out why they do what they do. That's a lot more profitable and intriguing than criticism, and it breeds sympathy, tolerance, and kindness. To know all is to forgive all." Now, I have another favorite quote, and it's by Roger C. Schenck. He's a cognitive scientist, and he says that humans are not ideally set up to understand logic. They are ideally set up to understand stories. And so those two quotes are why I started Story Power. So pick and choose. I have lots of different types of people that I talk to, people from all over the world who do different creative things. So as you listen, I hope you not only learn something about my guests, but you learn something about yourself as well, and that what you learn breeds sympathy, tolerance, and kindness. I want us to change the world for the better, and that is the goal of Story Power. So welcome again to Story Power on YouTube, and if you like what you hear, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and tell your friends about it, because some of the episodes I have are very interesting, and I'm sure you will be entertained by my guests. Thanks again.